Welcome back to the channel, USA Coins HD, that uncovers the hidden fortunes sitting quietly in your pockets, drawers, and old piggy banks. Today, we're turning our attention to a classic American coin that may look ordinary, but could be worth an astonishing amount if you're lucky enough to have the right one. That's right, we're talking about the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark. At first glance, it might look like just another old penny. But don't be fooled. This little coin holds secrets that only collectors truly understand. In this video, we're going to uncover its history, design, rarity, collector appeal, and finally, reveal just how valuable this unassuming cent could really be. Make sure you stay with us till the end. You don't want to miss the jaw-dropping price tag it can command. Let's step back in time to the year 1950. The United States was stepping into a new era of prosperity following the end of World War II. The economy was booming, the population was growing, and America was rapidly changing. During this time, the Lincoln Wheat penny was still the backbone of everyday currency, a humble yet iconic coin that had been in circulation since 1909. By 1950, the wheat penny had already become a familiar sight in wallets and cash registers across the country. But what makes the 1950 edition stand out, especially the ones bearing a mint mark, isn't just its age. It's the story behind how it was made, how many survived in pristine condition, and how rare variations turned it into a collector's dream. Now, let's take a close look at the design. The front of the 1950 wheat penny features the proud profile of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, this portrait has stood the test of time. It's one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Just below the date, you'll find the all-important mint mark, either a small D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. These mint marks are crucial in determining where the coin was struck and can significantly affect the coin's rarity and value. On the reverse side, you'll see two simple wheat stalks framing the words, 1 cent and United States of America. This design, known as the wheat ears reverse, gives the coin its famous nickname, the wheat penny. It symbolizes America's agricultural roots, a reminder of simpler times and enduring strength. But what truly gets collectors excited is the rarity and condition. You see, while millions of these coins were minted in 1950, most were used in daily transactions, tossed in change jars, or slowly worn down by time. That's why finding a 1950 wheat penny in excellent condition is like striking gold. The coins that have managed to survive the decades without getting scratched, nicked, or tarnished are now highly sought after by collectors. Even more thrilling are the variations, those unexpected anomalies that happened during minting. Some 1950 pennies were struck slightly off-center. Others have double dies, where part of the design appears twice due to a misalignment during minting. These minting errors, while accidental, are like golden tickets for collectors. They're unique, rare, and can multiply a coin's value exponentially. Another factor that can boost value is color. Coins that still have their original red or red-brown luster, especially if uncirculated, are significantly more valuable than dull, brown examples. Graded by Professional Coin Services, a high MS, mint state, rating can turn an ordinary penny into a serious investment, and here's where it gets really exciting. If you're lucky enough to own a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark, and it's in uncirculated, mint state condition, perhaps even with an error like a double die or off-center strike, then you could be sitting on a true hidden treasure. So, how much can this coin be worth? Hold your breath, because a pristine, rare variant of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark can fetch an incredible $80,000 on the collector's market. That's right, $80,000 for a coin that many people wouldn't think twice about. Just imagine what might be sitting unnoticed in your coin jar or old family collection right now. Today, we're diving into a special piece of American coinage that might just be hiding in plain sight inside your own home, the United States of America 1 cent Lincoln Wheat penny from the year 1948. This coin might look simple, but trust me, it's anything but ordinary. Stick around, because today we're uncovering the secrets behind the 1948 wheat penny, what makes it so desirable, how to identify valuable mint marks, and most importantly, how a single coin could be worth up to $70,000 if you're lucky. Let's rewind the clock to post-World War II America. The year was 1948. The war had ended, the nation was rebuilding, and the U.S. economy was shifting into high gear. It was a time of hope, growth, and innovation. Yet even during this period of big change, the humble 1-cent coin remained constant. The Lincoln wheat penny, in circulation since 1909, was still going strong, an essential part of everyday life, yet quietly becoming one of the most iconic coins in American history. The 1948 edition of this penny may not look dramatically different from others at first glance, but its true value lies beneath the surface, in the details, condition, mint mark, and rarity. Let's take a closer look at this coin's design. On the obverse, or front side, you'll find the familiar and timeless profile of President Abraham Lincoln. This portrait, created by designer Victor D. Brenner, stands as a symbol of American integrity and leadership. Just below the year 1948, you may notice a small letter, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. That mint mark is a tiny detail with big importance. It tells you exactly where the coin was produced, and it can make a massive difference in its rarity and value. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the simple but beautiful wheat stalks framing the words, 1 cent and United States of America. This is what gives the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. That design remained unchanged from 1909 through 1958 and has become a beloved symbol of America's past, representing both tradition and strength. Now, let's talk about rarity and why collectors are so drawn to the 1948 wheat penny. While it's true that millions of these coins were struck that year, time hasn't been kind to most of them. Many were used daily, passed from hand to hand, spent on candy and newspapers, and eventually forgotten in drawers or lost entirely. What's truly rare today is finding one of these coins in pristine condition, especially those with sharp detail, original luster, and no signs of heavy wear. But it doesn't stop there. Some 1948 wheat pennies are worth far more due to unusual errors made during the minting process. These minting mistakes might include double die errors, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, where the letter was accidentally struck more than once, creating a shadow effect. These mistakes were never meant to happen, but now they're incredibly valuable to collectors. Imagine holding a coin that was struck with an error and then survived for over 70 years without being damaged. That's the kind of piece collectors dream of. And when such a coin is discovered, it's not just a coin anymore, it becomes a rare artifact, a conversation piece, and a serious investment. Another major factor in value is condition. Coins are professionally graded based on their quality, and the scale runs from poor, P1, all the way to mint state, MS70. A 1948 wheat penny in a lower grade might only be worth a few cents. But in uncirculated, high-grade condition, especially with a visible error or unique mint mark, its value skyrockets. And that brings us to the big moment you've all been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to own a 1948 Lincoln wheat penny with a mint mark, and it's in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, or if it has a known minting error, then you might be holding something extremely valuable. In fact, such a coin has been known to fetch as much as $70,000 on the collector's market. Yes, $70,000 for a single 1-cent coin that could have easily been overlooked, lost, or spent without a second thought. That's the amazing world of coin collecting, where the smallest details can mean the biggest surprises. So, check your old jars, flip through that dusty coin album, or ask your parents or grandparents if they have any old pennies lying around. You never know, your next big discovery might just be sitting in plain sight. Today, we're turning our attention to one of the most classic coins in American history, a coin that millions of people once carried without a second thought, but that today, under the right circumstances, could be worth a small fortune. We're talking about the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny with a mint mark. It's a coin with rich history, subtle details, and a hidden potential for serious value. And if you stay with us until the end of the video, you'll find out exactly how much this unassuming copper coin could fetch today. Hint, it's a lot more than you think. Let's step back to the year 1940. America was still recovering from the Great Depression, and World War II was just around the corner. Times were uncertain, but the penny remained a steady part of everyday American life. During this time, the U.S. Mint continued to produce the famous Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that had been in circulation since 1909 and had already become an American icon. In 1940, the Lincoln penny was minted in 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. That's where the mint marks come into play. The Philadelphia coins had no mint mark, while Denver coins had a small d, and San Francisco coins bore an s. That tiny letter below the date may not look like much, but for collectors, it makes a big difference. Now let's take a closer look at the design of this timeless coin. The obverse, or front side, of the coin displays a sharp profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It's a bold and respectful tribute to one of the greatest leaders in American history. Underneath the year 1940, if you spot a D or S, congratulations, you've got a mint-marked version of the coin, which could be significantly more valuable depending on its condition and rarity. Turn the coin over, and you'll see the classic reverse design, 2 stalks of wheat curving along the edges, enclosing the words, 1 cent and United States of America. Above it, the phrase, E pluribus unum, a Latin motto meaning, out of many, one. This reverse design was used from 1909 through 1958 and is a beloved hallmark of American numismatics. But here's the part that gets coin collectors and enthusiasts truly excited: rarity, errors, and condition. While millions of 1940 pennies were struck at all 3 mints, most of them have suffered from decades of wear and tear. These were working coins, used to buy gum, newspapers, and soda during simpler times. So, finding one today in uncirculated or near mint condition is like finding a piece of frozen history. The cleaner the coin, the sharper the strike, the brighter the copper luster, the higher its value climbs. What's even more thrilling are the rare error coins that slip through quality checks at the mint. These could include double die errors, where parts of the design appear twice, usually visible in the lettering or date. Some coins have off-center strikes or repunched mint marks, where the small d or s was punched twice in slightly different spots. These imperfections might seem small, but to serious collectors, they are gold. Each one tells a unique story, and each one drives up the price dramatically. Another factor is color. Did you know that a red Lincoln penny is worth more than a brown one? That's because original mint red color is a sign of excellent preservation. The fewer fingers, pockets, and cash registers a coin has passed through, the better its grade and the more valuable it becomes. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC rank coins on a scale up to MS 70, with MS standing for mint state. A 1940 Lincoln wheat penny with a mint mark and a high mint state grade, especially one with an error or unique feature, can attract fierce competition from collectors. And now, here's the moment you've all been waiting for. What if you have a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny with a D or S mint mark, and it's in stunning condition, flawless detail, bright copper color, and maybe even an error that makes it one of a kind? How much could it be worth? Hold on to your seats, because such a coin has been known to sell for an eye-popping $73,000 in top-tier auctions and private sales. Yes, $73,000 for a single penny that was once worth only 1 cent. That's the magic of coin collecting. Small objects that tell big stories and sometimes hold even bigger surprises. So, the next time you're digging through a coin jar, looking through your grandparents' old collections, or spotting a dusty penny on the floor, don't overlook it. Check the date. Look for the mint mark. Examine the condition. Because your ordinary find could turn out to be an extraordinary treasure. If this video sparked your curiosity, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss out on rare coin discoveries and unbelievable values. We've got many more exciting coins to explore, and you might just uncover your own jackpot next. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of one of the most iconic coins in American history, an everyday item that, under the right circumstances, could transform into a life-changing payday. We're talking about the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny with a mint mark. It's a coin that may look like any other penny to the untrained eye, but for collectors and experts, it holds the potential for serious value. Stay with us until the end of this video, because we're going to explore what makes this small copper coin so important, and reveal just how much one rare example is actually worth in today's market. Let's travel back in time to the early 1950s. The year was 1952. Harry S. Truman was President of the United States. The country was still adjusting to post-war life, and the American economy was booming. It was a time of optimism, change, and progress. And during that same year, the U.S. Mint quietly struck millions of 1-cent coins, Lincoln wheat pennies, that would be used to buy candy, ride buses, and jingle in the pockets of millions of Americans, but out of those millions, only a select few survived in pristine condition. And even fewer have the unique traits that collectors dream about. That's why the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny, with a mint mark, has become a fascinating target for coin hunters around the world. Let's talk about the design first. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, you'll find the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, this portrait has stood strong since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. It's more than just an image, it's a tribute to freedom, leadership, and resilience. Now, take a look just below the year, 1952. Do you see a small letter? That's the mint mark, either a D for the Denver Mint or an S for the San Francisco Mint. While the Philadelphia Mint produced the most pennies, those struck in Denver and San Francisco are generally more desirable, especially in exceptional condition. Now flip the coin over. On the reverse side, you'll see two wheat stalks curving upward around the phrases, 1 cent and United States of America. This classic design, in use from 1909 to 1958, earned the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. It's a simple but powerful symbol of America's agricultural heritage and economic foundation, but why would a common penny from 1952 be worth anything more than its face value? Well, that's where rarity, condition, and minting anomalies come into play. Although over 186 million Lincoln pennies were minted that year, the overwhelming majority were used and circulated for years, eventually losing their sharp details and original luster. Most have scratches, discoloration, and worn-out features. These are the pennies people still find in pocket change or old coin jars. They're interesting, but not worth much. But the story changes entirely when we talk about uncirculated coins, or coins that were carefully preserved from the moment they were struck. These coins are sharp, clean, and still glowing with their original reddish copper color. The higher the grade, especially those graded MS 65 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC, the higher the coin's value. Even more fascinating are the mint-era coins, a collector's golden ticket. Some 1952 wheat pennies were accidentally struck with double dies, off-center impressions, or misaligned mint marks. These unique errors make the coin one of a kind, and that kind of rarity is exactly what collectors chase after. There are also pennies with repunched mint marks, where the D or S was struck twice slightly off position, creating a doubling effect. If you spot one of these with strong detail and minimal wear, you may be holding something far more valuable than just a penny. Now let's talk about color and eye appeal. A bright red uncirculated 1952 wheat penny with full detail and zero blemishes can command serious attention at auctions. Combine that condition with a mint mark and a rare minting error, and you've got a recipe for a coin that's truly extraordinary. So, how much could such a coin really be worth? If you happen to own a 1952 Lincoln wheat penny with a mint mark, preserved in flawless, uncirculated condition, and featuring a rare minting error, then brace yourself, because its value can soar beyond expectations. Believe it or not, the highest recorded value for such a coin reached a stunning $79,000. Yes, you heard that right, $79,000 for a 1-cent coin that might be sitting unnoticed in an old collection or a forgotten box of childhood keepsakes. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes, the smallest treasures are the most valuable. So, check your change, look through that dusty coin jar, and take another look at your old family albums. Because that 1952 penny you once thought was ordinary might just turn out to be an unexpected fortune. Today, we're diving into one of the final chapters of a legendary American coin series, a coin that many people still overlook in drawers, jars, and old change, but one that could be hiding a surprising secret. We're talking about the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny with a mint mark. At first glance, it might look just like any other ordinary penny, but beneath its copper surface lies a world of fascinating history, collector interest, and potentially serious value. So, make sure to stick with us until the very end, because we're going to walk through everything you need to know about this seemingly common coin, from its historical background to unique mint errors, and finally, we'll reveal just how much one rare specimen has sold for in the collector's market. Let's start. With the story behind the year 1958. The late 1950s were a time of change and optimism in America. The post-World War II boom was in full swing, the Cold War was intensifying, and American families were stepping into a new era of technology and culture. In the middle of all this, the United States Mint was quietly producing the final run of one of the most iconic coin designs in American history, the Lincoln Wheat Penny. That's right. 1958 marked the last year the U.S. struck pennies with the famous wheat ears on the reverse. The following year, in 1959, the design changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial instead. That makes the 1958 wheat penny a historical milestone. It's the final coin of its kind in a series that had been running since 1909. Now let's talk design. On the front of the coin, we see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor D. Brenner. His image had been on the penny for nearly 50 years by 1958, and it remained a proud symbol of American leadership, strength, and unity. Just below the date, many of these coins feature a tiny letter, a mint mark. A D for Denver, or sometimes an S for San Francisco. That little letter may be small, but it plays a huge role in determining the coin's value. Turn the coin over, and you're greeted by two elegant wheat stalks arching along the sides, framing the bold words, 1 cent and United States of America. Above it, in classic Latin, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. It's a design that's clean, powerful, and filled with symbolism, but here's where things get really interesting, because while hundreds of millions of 1958 pennies were minted, only a small percentage have survived in exceptional condition. And among those survivors, a tiny number have features so unique that they've become the holy grail for collectors. You see, collectors don't just look at the date and design. They focus on condition, rarity, and minting errors, those little mistakes that happened during production and slipped past inspection. In 1958, some pennies were struck with dramatic doubling on the front side, most noticeably in the inscriptions, Liberty, and, In God We Trust. These are called double die errors, and they are incredibly rare. Others have slight misalignments, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes. These errors weren't intentional, but they're exactly what makes a coin unique, and their value skyrockets because of that. Now let's talk condition. Coins are graded on a scale that runs from poor to mint state, MS 70, and every step in quality can mean a massive difference in value. A coin that was never circulated, stored safely for decades in a collector's album, can look as sharp and shiny today as it did the day it was minted. That kind of preservation is what drives demand and auction prices through the roof. Color matters, too. A bright red copper tone is highly prized. Most pennies from 1958 have aged into brown or red-brown colors, but the few that still shine like fresh copper can fetch premium prices, especially when combined with a rare error and mint mark. Now, let's bring everything together. If you're lucky enough to have a 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a mint mark, especially one from Denver or San Francisco, and it's in near-perfect condition, uncirculated, glowing red, and possibly carrying a rare minting error, then you just might be holding a hidden fortune, because believe it or not, one such coin has been known to sell for an astonishing $81,000. Yes, that's $81,000 for a 1-cent coin from 1958, a coin that could still be sitting in a forgotten drawer, inside an old wallet, or among the pennies you once collected as a kid. It's proof that in the world of numismatics, even the smallest things can hold massive value. So, take another look at your collection, dig through your old coin stash, and pay attention to the details. Because your 1958 wheat penny might just be more than a memory, it could be your ticket to something big. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next discovery. We're constantly sharing the secrets of coins that are worth thousands, sometimes hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep searching, keep learning, and happy collecting.